what we started was that, of course, this is all based on cloud, BI, Power Apps, and the data science on what you're building it. But that means it's very easy to build from here and deliver to the customer. Uh, the change, what happened was that we initially started saying that let these algorithms run in parallel to your decision, right? So you say you buy, we say don't buy, right? And then see how it works. And that's how we ran it through this. So this is a small way of influencing them. Second thing is that the pandemic helped because just before the pandemic, we delivered this dashboard over an iPad to the CEO who was running the business unit in the customer. So pretty much he has the data in hand, and you can now imagine when he's not able to move and make decision, these kind of dashboards at hand, and which is evolving every day and getting you the snapshot every day over the cloud, secured, and seeing it on his hand. He knows now what digital can do for an industry like oil and energy as well. So this is one which luckily we invested earlier, even it was timed well, because we were able to handle many more stakeholders during this pandemic. We are on Teams, so customers are happy to connect anytime. Our CEO and the board is available 24 hours. Though the travel has reduced, now if you look back, the travel actually used to take productive time. Maybe you will find a good partner sitting next to you, but the time you take to travel is actually wasting executives' time. So now they're able to call anybody. Nobody has no excuse. You have a opening talk on how is pandemic happening in your country, in your location. So people are. So I was actually telling that when Nandan said world is flat during globalization, I would say I've heard it's like the pandemic has made us even closer, because in crisis we come together. People who come together and get through this would really succeed, and people who are not able to reach out more people, then we are in trouble. So this actually helped. So cloud, as our small digital team, has helped to make these improvements, and uh, and that has also helped us to look at, as I said, the group dynamics. Few things from an IT background. Difficult thing was for us to get a individuals profiling, who does what. When you're typically sitting in a corner in IT, I'm talking about the enterprise, it is always difficult to find who does what, who should consume what, and employee profile was difficult. Now, under these situations, we are actually getting enough information to know which is, for example, to implement a DLP, we know who are the right people, what data we should be, securing at a different level than others. We are able to find out what's the consumption pattern even in our cloud. We are partially in Azure arena, so we were able to accelerate those things. In fact, one of the company was 100% on cloud. Even I was amazed when I joined that. It's an oil and energy company which is 100% on cloud. They work on Citrix, VDI. We spent only on cloud for that company, and I was surprised even it was not there in my earlier high tech organization, because somebody has put a case that no, this helps you, because probably some references help them to say that capex is not good, opex is the right thing to do, and that helped. I think, Sham, to say that the kind of challenges we always see is the cultural shift. Moving from a capex driven IT to an opex driven organization is not easy. I would say cloud is still, now everybody understands cloud, everybody understands Teams and Zoom, and like somebody said, that's the only way to work. But I think the organizational culture, in terms of how quickly you can get the elements right. So if I just take a time, other day I was having this Adyar Ananda Bhavan, which is the restaurant chain. They started operating from our apartment. That means they come to your apartment, not just savories, they make dosas and give it to people. Now, if I look at it, the area A to B has always relied on last mile to a Zomato or Swiggy, right? So that model they understand. It's something like additional business. But when you do this, like a cloud kitchen under the support of Zomato and others, now if they're able to do it at your apartment, that means they have cracked in terms of what it takes to serve 50 dosas, right? How many people is required for that? What's your break even there? What's your, I hope the things get normal and we are able to go back to the normal restaurants. But if I look at from a restaurant's point of view, this experience definitely would take them to a different level, in terms of maybe they can make a to B light. Maybe they will come with the, is like as you see in Bangalore, maybe a Sagar kind of restaurants. Maybe in tomorrow, people are more worried about the social distancing, right? Maybe you will eat from your car, so like watching movie from the car. So I think this is what cloud also does to you. If you're able to understand each of the stack within what you deliver, whether it's internal or to a customer. And if that can be scaled, because the good thing is that you can scale if it works, you can shut it off if it doesn't work. So I think that's the biggest learning for me, and I would say the pandemic has helped to easily relate to anything that's happening around, and everybody talks the same language, and cash is king. So what I said is cloud spend also need to be really monitored. I think that's one point which I've learned in my earlier cloud implementation, was that more than cloud, though it's a high tech company like Harman, the success was that along with the cloud, we are also be able to put a real-time TV or a screen in every engineer's floor to say that how much is consumed every day and every minute. It's not easy. I know even Azure doesn't give you real time. I think that's one feedback we should have. A dashboard which everybody is building should be, offered. What helped was that it helped to gamify, for a CFO community to say that, hey, why is this 100 people consuming X dollar against this 75 people consuming this, though they may not understand all the elements, but compute and storage has become like a commodity now, right? So that helped, and creating a kiosk to, for people to just go and spin off things, but at the same time it comes up in the dashboard. So giving a freedom and trust, right? What cloud does to its customer, we should also do to our employees and the business units. Otherwise, it's like for the end user, they should feel the cloud. Otherwise, it will look like, okay, these guys are just using Microsoft or Amazon services. I think they should have that. That's the biggest learning I've even learned now, and this is being reviewed every week now, right? People who are not really looking at IT in the past, now they're looking at every week. Do you need any support? Do you need, how is our security going on, right? Just the last thing which I want to say, that we were able to also implement a SOC under this pandemic. We had few instances of impersonation and some WAF attacks, and that helped us to push to deliver a, security SAM in this pandemic. That helped our board to say that, yeah, we are secure, because the last thing to have a ransom during this time, or not understanding, not knowing what's going around, because people are all around. So that also accelerated, and of course only on cloud, because people are not able to even go to office.